What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Dee from Busy with Dee, and today I am going to be showing you guys how I built these super simple shelves. This one I'm using as a desk, but shelves, floating shelves in this little nook area in my office. Now some of you may remember, if you watched my last video, I did a shiplap wall, and this is the little nook area of that shiplap wall in my office. And I just wanted to add a little space over here where I can store things and where my girls can come in and sit and do schoolwork while I work in my office. I also added a little light here, very inexpensive, from Home Depot, that can maneuver like this, turns on, super simple. I'll show you guys how I install that later. It's literally just a plug-in. It can be used as a hard wire, but also a plug-in, and I'm using it as a plug-in. I did have a little trouble here where I was connecting the birch plywood, connecting the two pieces using wood filler. It didn't stain so well, so I will be using a piece of wood like this. This is just a 1/4 inch by 1 inch poplar, and I'll be using it to make a little design like this, just to kind of cover that up, and then I'll stain it to match the stain here. But yes, this is a very simple project. Like, that's the only part that gave me trouble. I did watch a ton of YouTube videos to get ideas on how to build this, like the best way to build this, because I am new at, you know, building things and stuff like that. So I will link the videos in the description box below. But yes, if you're interested to see how I got this done, keep watching. Okay, so this is what the wall looked like after all of the shiplap work was done, all the painting and everything like that. Now, I have two French doors that open up into my office, and one opens up right into this nook area. So for the depth of the shelves in the desk, I had to make sure that it was 14 inches or less. So I'm just here measuring out how I want it to look, how wide and all of that. So next I have to figure out the height of my desk, how high I want it to be. I am using my chair and a piece of scrap plywood to measure how high I want it. I have my chair in the lowest setting, and then I use the plywood to see where I want my knees to come while I'm sitting down. So I'm using two 1x2 furring strips as the support of the wall. They as the support of the shelves. They are very inexpensive. They got the job done, but you should know that they do have bows in them. They curve a little bit, so just make sure that if you use these, you are very accurate. You don't want things sliding off your shelves. Next, I'm using my miter saw to cut the furring strips down to size. I'll have 3 sets of what you see here. So I'll have 6 11-inch pieces and 3 36 and some change inch pieces. I don't remember the exact measurements for that one, but 3 of the long one, 6 of the short one. Now I'm making sure my depth does not go past 12 inches because that's how far I want my shelves to stick out. And I'm using a leveler to make sure everything is level, and using my nail gun to nail it into place, making sure that I hit studs. This is how the very first support shelf came out. So this will hold my desk, and then I'll just repeat this process for the next 2 shelves. So here I'm using a circular saw to cut the pieces for my desk. This is 3/4 inch maple plywood, so this will be on the top and the bottom of my desk. On everything else, on the other 2 shelves, it'll only be the top part of the shelf, and the bottom pieces will be 1/4 inch birch plywood, and then the front face pieces will be 1/4 inch birch plywood also. Okay, so this is not the wood that you just saw me cut. This was picked up from Home Depot, and they cut it for me. This is the 1/4 inch birch plywood, and you can see how it's split all along the ends. So I had a little trouble there, but I did fix it in the end. You'll see that later on. Okay, so here I'm using a multi-tool, and if you can tell by my face, I'm not really a fan of it. I did need it to cut a little piece off the side of the support beams for my first shelf because I made them a tad bit too long. So if you don't have a multi-tool and you do make a mistake like that, you can use any kind of handsaw to get the job done. So next I am using the nail gun to nail in the top shelf just to secure it in because I have it leveled and everything like that. And then I'm going in with the bottom with the 1/4 inch plywood and nailing in the bottom. Here I added a 11-inch piece of the furring strip in the middle just to give the shelf some support for when I sit things on there so it doesn't bow in the middle. Now I'm adding the face plates, which is still the 1/4 inch birch plywood, and I'm using a 1-inch nail to secure that in. I'm repeating these same steps for the top shelf, and I have the bottom shelf, the bottom desk part already done, and that is pretty much it. All I have to do now is use some wood filler to fill in all of the brad nail holes and any sort of imperfections that are in the wood. Let that dry for a couple of hours, come back and sand it, then I can start to stain. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I did a poll to see which stain to use, and Fruitwood won. That was actually my favorite. I was just worried that it would be a little bit too dark, but it turned out really great. So since that stain color won, that is the color I will be using in my entire office for everything that I create using wood. Now it's time to touch up the paint. I made a huge mess with that stain, so I'm using the ultra pure white that I used for the shiplap, and then the repost gray for the gray side of the wall to cover up all the stain that I got on the walls. So now I'm just drilling in the holes to hang the light. This light was very simple to put together and install on the wall. All I had to do was drill 2 holes, put the screws into the holes, and then basically just put the light fixture up there. Use 2 little screws that came with it to secure that into the side to hold the main frame of the light up. Add the glass and then the support piece to hold the glass. Light bulb, plug it in. Very simple. Everything you need to know comes in the box, and I will link it in the description box below. It was only $23 in my area from Home Depot. Okay, so this is how it turned out. This is what it looks like at night. I think the light gives it a really warm feeling. I ended up going with a warm light bulb instead of the white light, so it just makes the area really cozy. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Remember, if you have any questions, don't forget to comment them down below. I will also be building a sliding door from scratch to cover up my closet, and that will also be on the same shiplap wall. So don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. See you guys next time. I bet y'all didn't know it's a baby down here. He was so quiet while I was filming the intro. Say hey. Hey. Hey.